Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Trev the King here, and I am ecstatic, simply ecstatic, to be able to bring you guys NPL Season 3 Championship against Cheeseboy628 and his Phoenix Sunkern. Now, in last year's championship, we faced off against Crobat for the win and his LA Needle Kings. And even though we were heavily favored going in, as we had won both our 2 games against them in the regular season very well, going to combine 2-0 plus 10, and we had a pretty good matchup against them. You know, we kind of, I guess you can say, we were kind of like the Baltimore Orioles back in 1969 when Miracle Mets won, and we were so confident in our ability to win that we kind of just, you know, got drunk. I mean, I didn't actually get drunk, but like, you know what I mean. I didn't prep very well. I didn't play too horribly, but you know, just the prep. Like, I brought Agility Kingdra when I should have just brought Swift Swim. I didn't bring EQ's Ardex. I didn't bring HP Ground Crest, and he kind of just sat there with his defensive core of his Def Diancie and Keytrain, and kind of just walled Zard and Crest a lot. And then, you know, we could have maybe won that game if he hadn't gotten that crunch defense drop. It would have been possible that we could have lived that Diamond Silver, considering he didn't have much, if any, attack investment. But, you know, that's no excuse for playing that bad in a championship game, getting that overconfident. But here, I am not cocky or overconfident. I am just confident of my team I have built. I think this team is one of the best teams I've come up with. It doesn't have like any freaky EV spreads. Well, not really, but you know, just the move sets and the items I feel like are good enough to let me win. Our matchup against Cheeseboy is not the greatest. However, it is still a very good matchup in terms of, like, you know, I have a good matchup against him. But he has a better matchup against me, I feel. That's why I'm saying it's not that great a matchup. But in terms of teams, these are probably the 2 most powerful teams out there. Just because Cheeseboy has a lot of power with things like Bisharp, Manaphy, Mega Metacham. Yeah, he's got a lot of power. He's also got a good amount of bulk with things like P2 and Gligar. He's got and Ferrothorn. He's got things like Scolipede that can Baton Pass possibly, because we didn't nerf Baton Pass yet, like Smoggin did, because it happened after we dropped it, and we didn't want to have to make Cheeseboy, you know, redraft that one last mon, because it could have changed up some things. So we just said But he hasn't brought Baton Pass like that this year, so you know, if he brings Scolipede, it's probably going to be a offensive one, like Protect 3 attacks, maybe Protect SD 2 attacks. Yeah, that's it. What else? He also has Latios, which is actually, he's only brought it like 2 or 3 times this season, but Latios is actually a really big sleeper threat. This team I have doesn't really have any good switch into Lati. I mean, I have a Sylveon on my team, but that doesn't really switch into Sylveon. I mean, that doesn't really switch into the other members of his team. Like Manaphy can kind of set up on it, unless I'm like kind of more offensively based with Hyper Voice. But like, I just don't think it's worth to bring Sylveon. He has, you know, Manaphy that can at least probably set up 1 Tail Glow. He has Bisharp, which can OHKO with like an Adamant like or Iron Head, if I'm not mistaken. And then he also has, you know, what else is he? I mean, Ferrothorn, Walls, defensive Sylveon as well. Because, you know, I probably would run, if I was going to run Sylveon, I'd run defensive, and my only attacking move would probably be Hyper Voice. Just kind of like my usual Sylveon set. But, yeah, so he has a lot of big threats on his team. Mega Metacham and Latios are probably the 2 biggest 2, just because on my entire team, I really have no switch-ins to Mega Metacham. And on this team, I really don't have a good switch into a Draco.
So yeah, he also has Goth, which is something else to worry about, and Thundurus, and Togekiss. You know, Thundurus is another sleeper threat. I don't really have a good switch into Thundurus as well, but it's not quite as bad as like Lottie. Like, I literally have nothing to switch on Draco. At least I have something to switch on a T-Ball. I have something to switch on an HP. I have something to switch on a Focus Blast. Togekiss can possibly be annoying because it can take hits from some of my mons, and Goth can be really annoying because it can trap some of my key members. But yeah, how about we just get into the team right about now. So, you see the 6 members I'm bringing. I'm bringing Mega Blastoise, Kyurem Black, Victini, Doublade, Landorus T, and Serp. Now, I said I had no switch-ins to my team, on my team to a Mega Medicham, and that's partially true, because technically Doublade really can't switch into Mega Medicham if it has Fire Punch, which Cheese Boy, you know, that was actually one of his good teams he built, because he's a really good OU player. That's one of the good teams he built for when Aegis Slash was still around. He would bring he would bring sub Fire Punch Medicham. But the reason why I say partially I don't have any switch-ins is because he did not prepare for Medicham for Doublade at all last time. He literally just brought Bullet Punch, Fake Out, Ice Punch, and High Jump Kick. So I really have to bank on the fact that either he doesn't have Fire Punch this time, he underprepares, or that, you know, if he does underprepare, that he doesn't like make a good double out, which he could possibly do, because, you know, he makes him really, he's gotten a lot better, like, than just, like, even 5 weeks ago, he's gotten a lot better since then. So yeah, that will be something I need to watch out for. So this Blastoise is meant to take on his Bisharp, as I can take its, I can take a knockoff easily because I don't take the boost damage. I can easily take an Iron Head. I have Aura Sphere to hit it down to most likely it's Sash. If it's a Sash lead Bisharp, I'm really hoping for the opportunity to just Aura Sphere, bring down Sash with a set of rocks, and then spin kill it. That's my dream. That probably won't happen if he brings Bisharp. He probably bring Sash lead Bisharp, but I don't think he would bring. I don't think he would go for it very first turn. Ice Beam is there to hit the Gligar. That's pretty much the only reason I'm running Ice Beam over Dark Pulse, because I want to hit Gligar harder than Scald does. Although that could you know, bite me in the butt a little bit if he brings both Goth and Latios, because Dark Pulse would do a good amount more, and like Dark Pulse could do like up to 90%, I believe, the Latios, and you know, Dark Pulse could definitely, even if it's like a bulky Goth, like Dark Pulse still is going to do like 60% the Goth at least, if not more. So yeah, that's what Blastoise is there. It's good. It's a good. It's also a decent Manaphy check, because, you know, I can really use this as sack fodder, kind of maybe get a burn, and then go into Serp and Oko the Manaphy with Leaf Storm. But yeah, so that's my Blastoise I'm bringing. Next, I have kind of a weird. You look at the moveset, and even the moveset, you know, that last move, Shadow Ball, is a little weird. And then you look at the EV spread, and it's even weirder to bring a Scarf Kyurem, but bring only 48 speed EVs and no speed boost in nature. But okay, so I'm going to first explain the moveset. Fusion Bolt is for the Manaphy. Ice Beam he really doesn't have great switch into Ice Beam on his entire team. You know, Porygon 2 is probably the best switch in, and like a Spit of Ferrothorn. But like, outside of that, like, everything gets 2-hit KO'd by Ice Beam, if I'm not mistaken, because I mean, besides Manaphy, which I could predict and go for a Fusion Bolt. So yeah, he has 3 good Ice Beam switch-ins, but outside of that, his other switch-ins to Ice Beam are nothing. Like, everything outside of those 3 things I previously mentioned gets O-code or 2-hit KO'd by max special attack Ice Beam, if I do believe. Let me look at his team again. Yeah, because Mega Medicham 2-hit KO. Also, I have Shadow Ball for said Mega Medicham, just like, it's literally just in case it's a one-on-one versus situation with Mega Medicham, and I need to be able to like let's say it's at 80%. I don't think Ice Beam kills at 80%. If it does, okay, let's just say Mega Metacham's at an amount of health that it won't die to an Ice Beam, but Shadow Ball does a good amount more. I think it's like base 135 versus base 160. So yeah, and the reason I have this spread is because I want a lot of bulk to be able to hit things like bullet punches from Mega Metacham. I'm probably not even 2 KO'd by bullet punch, to be honest, with how much bulk I have. And I only need this amount of speed to outspeed, I believe Scolipede. I outspeed Scolipede before Baton Pass, and then not Baton Pass, a speed boost, and I outspeed everything else on his team. So yeah, looking back at it, I have no idea why I brought Earth Power. Oh, Bisharp, yeah. Probably should have brought HP Fire just because it does a lot to Bisharp still. Sure, yeah, I probably should bring HP Fire, but I'm going with Earth Power because just in case, again, it's kind of like a one-on-one situation type thing. Because if I am not able to cope Bisharp and I lose Blastoise and I possibly lose Landorus, then I'm kind of screwed. So I really need to be able to do a lot of damage to Bisharp, and even though HP Fire would be better for the Ferrothorn, I just can't lose that power. I need the power of Earth Power to be able to kill Bisharp. Next we have Victini, which is special Expert Belt with Glaciate, Focus Blast, Blue Flare, Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is literally for Manaphy and Togekiss, but mainly for Manaphy. Glaciate is there for the Gligar if he brings it, also hits Latios, and you know, it's very useful getting speed drops. Blue Flare, you know, I can burn his entire team. And Blue Flare, I mean, he only has, I think, like 2? Yeah, he has 2 resistances on his entire team to a Blue Flare. And if I get up rocks, like, even Porygon 2 doesn't like switching on Blue Flare because it has a chance to burn. Although I do have Focus Blast for the Porygon 2, and even if, like, he's Spadef, you know, and has his Eviolite, Focus Blast will still do a lot because I'm max special attack Expert Belt, and Focus Blast is a very powerful move. So I'm basically looking to be able to get into that situation where Porygon 2 is at a decent amount of health, not a good amount of health, but it doesn't need to be like very low. I don't think it needs to be lower than like 35 or 40% for it to kill. Maybe it'll even kill from like 45. I can't remember the calcs. Because they are escaping me right now and I don't have them pulled up. But yeah, that's what Focus Blast was for on Victini. Doublade is arguably the second biggest threat to his team, the first being Serp, but like he did not prepare really for Doublade at all last time. Basically the only thing he had for Doublade last time was freaking Bisharp. He didn't prepare his Mega Metacham with Fire Punch. He really just did not prepare, and I'm really hoping that happens. That is the case. Again, because it's kind of funny, you know, I had a mock battle, you know, my good friend Dallas, who's coached the San Antonio Conference, who got knocked out against Togue in the wild card round of the Luxury Conference, he gave me a mock battle using Cheese Boy's team, and it's kind of funny because I forgot that Goth, you know, that ghost types can't be trapped, so I let Goth trap me, and I just killed 4 things with a non-boosted Scarf Shadow Snake. It was actually pretty funny. But that knowledge is invaluable, that ghost types can't be trapped, so like I can always set up, and plus if I set up +2, unless he's like a Fizdef Goth, I'm pretty sure it just dies to out of the Shadow Sneak after rocks. So even if he would have to predict me to not, he would have to predict my switch into Doublade, and even then, even if he predicted, ghost types can't be trapped. I have, you know, Iron Head for like things like the Togekiss. It also does a good amount to Scolipede. I have Shadow Snake for priority, and also really hits Goth and Latios hard. And then I have Sacred Sword for the Pharaoh and the Bisharp. So yeah, Doublade is the second biggest threat to his team in my opinion. Next, we have Lando T, Fizdef, Earthquake, Knockoff. Now Knockoff is for the situation where I can predict a T-Wave from a T-Wave, or if I have enough health, possibly a Tri-Attack, and knock off thing. Now, if he Ice Beams, then that's really bad, because this thing is a primary counter to Scolipede and a secondary counter to Bisharp, because even if he does have that +1 Defiant boost, because, you know, -1, but then he gets the, you know, the 2-stage boost, like, I can still eat up a knockoff. Like, I think I take like 40% from a +1 knockoff, as long as he's not like Life Orb. But knockoff is literally there just for the Porygon 2, because if I knock off the Porygon 2, I have a much greater chance of winning with things like Victini, Kyurem, and even Doublade will appreciate that, especially if it's like a Fizdef Porygon 2. It'll definitely appreciate that. Stealth Rock is there because, you know, if I weaken the Thundurus and Togekiss upon switching that greatly, as well as the Scolipede, you know, and just chip damage on things like Mega Jam and Manaphy are great as well. And Stone Edge just for that Togekiss, as well as it does a little bit more damage to Gligar, which, you know, knockoff is also there for the Gligar. And then finally, we have what is the greatest threat to his team, Lumberry Serp. Just a standard moveset, standard spread, but Lumberry, you know, it's a little weird, but it's there, so if he brings Thundurus and or Porygon 2, I can, you know, I can not get T-Wave. They would go for a T-Wave, but then I would be healed, and then I would continue my sweeping as I think at like if I, let's say I get the +2 and Rock Throw up, and then he brings Thundurus to paralyze me, I'm pretty sure Thundurus dies to a +2 Leaf Storm. And same happens to Porygon 2, although Porygon 2 probably will live a +2 Leaf Storm. However, it doesn't have Prankster T-Wave like Thundurus does, so I would be able to kill it with a +4 Leaf Stormer, even if I'm not able to kill it with +2. But yeah, that is my team, and I will see you guys with the championship. It's going to be a tough battle, but I'm really hoping I can win, because I want to win a championship. So I will see you guys at the championship. And here we are, the championship game against Cheese Boy. Now, his team, it doesn't look as scary as I thought it would. I was kind of thinking, I mean, I did prepare for some of these things, or I did prepare for all of these things, but not like as much prep as the other things. Like, I thought he would read Manaphy, so that's why I brought Thunderbolt Victini. I thought Gligar could come. I didn't think it would come, but I thought it could. I had to run Glaciate on Victini just in case it did come. I also had to run Focus Blast if the P2 came, which it did come. I'm surprised he didn't bring Thundurus, Manaphy. I'm definitely surprised he didn't bring Thundurus or Manaphy. Things like Ferrothorn and Gligar, you know, I knew there was a chance he probably wouldn't bring them, but I thought they could still come. But I didn't expect this team of 6 that he brought, but nonetheless, it is a very scary thing, because he still has things like Mega Medicham, Bisharp, and Latios. I was kind of hoping he wouldn't bring Bisharp, just because I have a few checks to Bisharp, as well as if I brought Braviarys Victini again, that would be bad for him, but he's still determined to bring it. But with that out of the way, let us get the championship battle underway. So, he's going to lead off with Bisharp. I'm going to lead off with my Blastoise. This is exactly the lead I wanted, but I know that my dream matchup would not happen, because, you know, it just wouldn't. So, he does switch into Lottie. Now, here's where not having Dark Pulse killed me, because Ice Beam actually doesn't kill this thing, or at least it has a really, really good chance not to kill this thing. Dark Pulse, however, does have a 100% chance to kill this thing from where it's at. So as you see, I take that Draco. I don't see any Life Orb damage, which surprises me. I go for the Ice Beam. Don't kill it, like I said, but I get a freeze. I get a freeze, and it's kind of big, but it's not really big, because he would have been able to get another Draco off, but it wouldn't have killed me. But, you know, if he, I'm gonna pause it right here. If he had not gotten frozen and he would have been able to get another Draco off, he probably would have just been able to go into Bisharp and click Knock Off and kill me, or even Cyber Punch and kill me. or maybe even pursue and kill me, because, you know, that D50, not that much. But, you know, he would still probably be able to go into Bisharp and not have to take a Skull Burn with a Gothic Tail, which, you know, he ends up being like a bulky Gothic Tail, which kind of hurts him here, because now I basically take out over half of this Gothic Tail's health, as he just takes me out with the Energy Ball. And now we're back even at 5-5. Here I'm just going to go into Surf. I know I can get off a free Leaf Storm, and maybe sweep if he's not Sash Bisharp or Protect Scalpede. Unfortunately, I missed, so there's no chance of that happening yet. I'm going to go into my Lando, and he goes for the HP Ice. He went for the HP Ice. I have no words. I just have no words. I have no words. So that sends me into a panic, because this thing was supposed to 100% check Scolipede for sure, and now I can't do that. So he's going to predict my switch into Doublade, which he's just outplaying me at this point in the battle. He goes for a knockoff. Knocks off my Doublade. I go for Sacred Sword, and he is Sash. Now here, I was feeling the Pursuit, so I go for a Shadow Sneak, but he just, and plus I thought that I could lift a Sucker Punch, because I was like, oh, you know, if knockoff only did 46%, then Sucker Punch is going to do even less. But I forgot that well, I didn't forget, I knew that knocked off my Violet. I didn't know that would have made such a difference, that my lack of bulk would have, or you know, would have compensated for the lack of power from Sucker Punch in comparison to knockoff. So that's unfortunate. I lose one of my big sweepers, and now I'm down 5-4. I take a huge chunk of Sucker Punch. I probably should have gone into Kirim, now that I'm thinking about it, because Surf would have been nice to preserve HP on, because it could have still possibly swept a decent amount of team. But here he's just going to fake out and bullet punch me and kill my Surf off. So now I'm down 4-3 right after I had made it 4-4. And right here, he misses the high jump kick. He misses the high jump kick. That's huge. And it's not huge because of the damage he would have gotten off it from Victini. It's huge because if I had gone for Blue Flare, hit it, which I did go for Blue Flare, if I had hit it and not burned, then he would have been probably able to kill off my Victini the next turn, I think. Maybe not, but still, Victini would have been a lot lower health. Even if I did somehow kill the Metacham, like maybe it did enough to where a burn could kill it, it makes the end of the match different, because now I couldn't have lived, like, let's see, I'm predicting that he probably still has EQ on his Scolipede. He's just a mixed Scolipede, and Life Orb EQ can't kill me. However, with high jump kick damage, it can guarantee OHKO me. So if he does end up having the Life Orb EQ, then like that matters, because instead of, like, for example, having to like send out Lando or Kieran Black, I could send out Victini. So you'll see how that comes into play. Victini picks up its kill, and I'm looking pretty. So right here, I know he's either going to go for Tri-Attack or Thunder Wave. There's no way he would go for Ice Beam. Like, if he did, that I don't know what I would do, but he does just go for the Thunder Wave, and that works out perfectly. I am able to just click knockoff right here, and that knockoff play, I'm going to pause it right here again. That knockoff play was huge, because now he loses like 50% of his bulk. Like, you know, instead of, like, for example, if he was like Spadef, I think Spadef Porygon hits like 339. If you have an Eviolite, like that thing hits like 510 Spadef. But without that, now it goes back down to about 340. So that's huge for if I have to clean up with Victini or Kieran late game. So I'm going to just take this opportunity to set up rocks, as I didn't actually predict him to go into Gothitelle. But he ends up going into that, and I can just knock off with Lando. And yeah, so I'm just going to sack Lando off here because I don't want to risk him going for like an Earthquake or make a horn predicting either Kiram or Bikini. So now it's back down a tie, 2-2. And right here, he goes for Life Orb EQ. I live that. I go for Blue Flare. I kill it. Now, we're at the last turn of this match. He's at 74%. Focus Blast has, if I remember right, Focus Blast has a pretty good chance of KOing this Porygon 2 from this range without its Violite. If it's spit up. If it's not spit up, I think it guaranteed dies. I'm not sure of the calcs, but if I remember right. So, if I connect this Focus Blast, I actually have three options. I have a few options here. I could go into Kiram and try to get some chip damage off to guarantee kill with the Focus Blast when he eventually kills my Kiram. That's probably the poorest play because if he paralyzes me and I don't get any damage off, then I for sure guaranteed lose. Because I need damage. Because I think even a Fizz-Step Porygon without its Violite might be able to Focus Blast from full. My other option is to go for Blue Flare, hope for a burn, or hope it does enough to where it knocks out Kiram, or Kiram knocks out with the Ice Beam the next turn, and hope he doesn't go for Recover. Or I have the third option, which is probably kind of not the riskiest, but like, you know, it has the most risk reward. If I miss this, it could very well cost me the game. If I hit this, then I win the game. So, I choose to go for option number 3 and choose to go for a Focus Blast. If I connect this Focus Blast, I am your NPL Season 3 champion. And I've done it. I have won the championship. I am the NPL Season 3 champion. Now, it's crazy. You know, I wish I would have won without the high jump kick miss and even the freeze, even though the freeze didn't matter too terribly much. It kind of mattered, but not, you know, it didn't matter as much as the high jump kick miss. But I'm just so happy to be. I can't even speak right now. You know, when I won this battle, I started jumping up and down. Like, there are no words. I'm recording this like 4 days later, and I still can't believe I actually won this game. Like, in this way, like a close, like narrow. I thought I was either gonna lose or, you know, there's always. I didn't think it would come down to the wire like this. Not saying that Cheese was a bad battler. I just thought he would either sweep me or I would sweep him. Not like this very, very close, narrow battle. But yeah, that's right. Your Atlanta Braviarys are the NPL Season 3 champions. And I am proud to say that we will be back next season. We don't care that we just won a championship this past season. We're going to be hungry for another championship. We're going to be hungry for a third straight finals berth. We're going to be hungry to taking out everybody in our way. So, this has been Trev the King, coach of the Atlanta Braviarys. I will upload other videos in the off season, but for at least probably a few weeks, if not a month or more, this will be the last time I'm signing out as head coach of the Atlanta Braviarys. Next time you see me as coach of the Atlanta Braviarys, it'll be week 1 of season 4, or, you know, my team analysis, my draft analysis for season 4. I'm actually really looking forward to the next season because, you know, we have a bunch of new coaches coming in, and, you know, they're really good battlers. The quality of battler in NPL Season 4 is probably going to be the highest by far it's ever been. I thought this season was really high quality, but like, it'll be even better next season. So, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys, any of you guys who've been sticking with me the whole season, or any season. Trev the King, signing out. Peace.